quiet, shh. Got something to say? Don't. Mum's the word. Today on Monday Mastery Moments with Michelle, we're going to talk about what do you do when you have something to say and you shouldn't. Hey there, Michelle O'Neill here, Monday Mastery Moments with Michelle. And today we're going to talk about what do you do when you have something to say and you shouldn't? What do I mean? Well, sometimes when you have something to say, maybe you should just be quiet because it'll save a lot of heartache. And we're going to talk about that. But not only that, I found out just recently, sometimes that's the hardest lesson to implement. But sometimes we just got to be quiet. We can't say everything that's on our mind. We can't say everything that's on our heart. And I just want you to understand why it's so important to know the difference when to speak and when not to speak. So one of my favorite saying is, right ain't always right. Well, what do I mean? What do I mean? What do I mean by that? What I'm saying is being right, saying that you're right or showing that you're right isn't always the best or the right thing to do. Just being right. I remember one time when there was an argument and I felt that it was so important that I got out why I was right and to say what I was right at the detriment of a relationship. So as I was sitting there thinking about all the things I needed to do to get back, to prove I was right, to show the truth, it was like all of a sudden I heard this voice, I felt this voice, and these words popped in my mind and it said, is it worth it? There are times when saying what's on our mind, proving that we're right, proving our point is not worth the detriment and the trouble that it causes. So making that determination on being right, is that the right thing to do? Sometimes it's just best to be quiet. It's not that important. And then another thing I realize is being aware of family dynamics. I was just watching an episode of Blue Bloods, and they were talking about the fact that there's a new character or a new person that sits at the dinner table with Blue Bloods, and she's the wife of the youngest son, and she's the only outsider there now at that whole table. Everybody else there is born by blood, and now she's the outsider because she's come into the family through marriage. And sometimes being aware of those family dynamics, knowing that at the end of the day, a lot of times blood is thicker than water, and sometimes that can turn on you. Sometimes because of that closeness on that family and dynamics that sometimes you're not even aware of, the protectiveness and the history there, sometimes it's best just to keep your peace, just to say nothing, even if you feel that what you have to say needs to be said. And there's a reason behind that. And that's my third reason for saying this is listening becomes your wisdom. Sometimes just listening, understanding the dynamics of what's going on, understanding the different perspectives, hearing those other perspectives make you attack things or look at things from a different direction. And that's so important that we listen, that we be quiet long enough to really hear what's going on and understanding the mindset of all those players in the room. So those are reasons that sometimes it's just best to be quiet, even if you think that what you have to say or your advice is better, that if they understood, if they just knew this, if they understood this, it would be all different. They wouldn't have no problems. If they listened to you, sometimes you got to let that go. if just for growth reasons, you have to let people go through their own process. You can't do it for them. And a lot of times that causes more harm than good. So my word to you is, mum's the word. Sometimes it's best just to sit back and be quiet. Sometimes it's best, even though you want to say something, say nothing. I hope that you are walking away this time with some wisdom that can ignite that spark in your heart to master your Monday and create that balance and control and love, strength and grace in your life that you crave. In the meantime, take care.